Welcome back to Where's Wiseman. Matt and Emily here. We love traveling around the US, internationally, and love to do a ton of camping.
We're in England for a week, and obviously we're in London, as you can see, with Tower Bridge right behind us. We're going to be spending a few days here in London before starting an epic road trip around the south of England. And in this video, we're going to take you around London with us and show you all the things to see and do and give you some travel tips.
But first, let's rewind our arrival at Heathrow, and we'll throw in some travel tips.
Arriving at Heathrow Airport, you have a couple of transportation options to get you into London. They all differ in price and the amount of time they'll take, so it really depends on your situation which you choose. Taking a train will be the quickest route, and you can take either the Elizabeth line, which has a number of stops as you make your way into London, or the Heathrow Express, which goes non-stop from Heathrow to Paddington Station in 15 minutes. Alternatively, you can take a taxi or rideshare, which can be pricey, or a bus, but these may take considerably longer depending on traffic. We booked the Heathrow Express in advance, and our tickets were £17 per person. Almost there. Looks like we got this all to ourselves, or at least this little car.
Yeah, it's quiet. Well, hate to say it because we're not quite to the hotel for the first night here, but it has been seamless from our front door to
Heathrow.
Yeah, to the Heathrow Express now. Everything has been spot on time. Flight got in 10 minutes early, even though it left a little late, but
our bags made it.
Yeah, we showed up to the train pretty much right when it boarded, and I think we're taking off here in 5 minutes. All right, yeah, and it's noon. We'll see how much trouble we can get into on
3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2, 3 hours of sleep. So
coffee does wonders.
Yeah, here we go.
We arrived in London on Halloween and were greeted at Paddington Station with music by a Royal Guard band.
We stayed at the Paddington Hilton, which is right around the corner from the main Paddington Station entrance. We found the Paddington area super convenient to stay in, with lots of shops, restaurants, and pubs, and access to 5 different tube lines within a block of our hotel. It was a little too early for us to check in, so we dropped our bags and headed out to explore the area and made our way to Hyde Park. At 350 acres, Hyde Park is a vast green space in the heart of London. There are a ton of walking paths and some attractions within or near the park, including Kensington Palace, the Serpentine, Round Pond, the Princess Diana Memorial Fountain, and the King Albert Memorial. Our room was what you'd expect from a Hilton. We did consider booking one of the many boutique hotels in this area, but frankly, the rooms looked like shoeboxes and were priced the same, so we opted for something more familiar.
All right, we have finally checked into our hotel. I think we gave you a quick room tour there. And we're excited. We're heading straight to, I think, the heart of the action. We're going to head over to Westminster and see Big Ben and the Thames. I think that's how you say that. And this is Matt's first time on the tube.
First time.
We're about to hop on here at Paddington Station, and let's go get on the tube.
If you're planning a trip to London, the Underground, or the Tube, is the fastest way to get around town, and there's likely an Underground station near your hotel and where you want to go. Most trains within central London run every few minutes, and the majority of visitors will only need to travel into central zones 1 and 2, with nearly all of the main tourist attractions in Zone 1. It's less than £3 per ride for anywhere in Zones 1 and 2, and the maximum daily fee you'll pay is £8.50. Paying with a contactless card is the preferred way to pay, and you can use Google or Apple Pay on your phone, a credit or debit card, or a pre-loaded Oyster card. To pay, you simply tap in and tap out when you enter and leave the station. Underground stations will have 2 platforms for each line. These will be labeled either northbound and southbound or eastbound and westbound. You need to get on the correct platform to ensure you travel in the right direction. To find the direction you need to go, just look at the destination signs in each station to find the next tube station you want to travel to. If you do go the wrong way, don't worry, just get off the train and change platforms for the other direction. You won't pay anything unless you go through the ticket barriers and leave the station.
You can also use apps like Google Maps or City Mapper to find the best routes and specific trains for where you want to go. Also, be sure to stay on the right on escalators so people can pass on the left and mind the gap between the train and the platform. Exiting the Westminster Tube Station, you'll come face to face with Big Ben and the Palace of Westminster, which is home to the House of Parliament. Westminster Abbey is about a block away, and the London Eye is just across Westminster Bridge on the south side of the Thames. Wow, when you climb out of that station, the view's epic instantly. That is one beautiful piece of architecture right there. And I heard the bells going off. And for some reason, I checked my watch to see what time it is. Pretty big clock right up there.
So when you come to see Big Ben, take that Westminster Tube station and then cross the bridge to the south side. I think it's Westminster Bridge. Cross to the south side. The views of Big Ben and Westminster behind us are amazing. And we're here kind of the twilight evening hours and the lights are coming on. It's beautiful.
And it's not nearly as busy or stressful. There's plenty of room to get a good view over here. So.
Yeah, get off that main bridge right around Big Ben. Get a little bit further away. The views are great. The crowds are a lot less.
Well, I think it's time to find some dinner.
Let's find a pub.
Yeah, let's do it.
The Leek Street Graffiti Tunnel is beneath Waterloo Station on the South Bank. This was pretty cool to walk through, and it has a number of restaurants and bars as well. After dinner, we hopped on the tube at Waterloo Station and made our way to Piccadilly Circus in Soho to explore. Piccadilly Circus is a busy intersection in London's West End known for its bright lights and neon signs. Think of it as London's Times Square. Also in London's West End is the neighbourhood of Soho, which stands for south of Horton. The energetic streets of Soho feature a variety of dining, nightlife, and shopping options.
Set inside the abandoned Kingly Court Underground Station in Soho, which was once an air raid shelter in World War II, Cahoots is a unique cocktail bar, taking you back in time with a cozy atmosphere and signature cocktails. If you find yourself thirsty in Soho, this is a great place to grab a cocktail.
Take the Westminster stop on the Jubilee line to reach Westminster Abbey. You can buy tickets at the Abbey, but we recommend getting them online in advance to skip the line. As well as being a place of worship, Westminster Abbey is the final resting place of 30 kings and queens. There are also over 3,000 burials in the church and many more memorials. It has been the setting for every coronation since 1066 and for numerous other royal occasions, including 16 royal weddings. The coronation chair in St. George's Chapel has been the centerpiece of coronations for over 700 years. Neither a cathedral nor a parish church, Westminster Abbey is a royal peculiar, subject only to the sovereign and not to any archbishop or bishop. The Lady Chapel is the burial place of 15 kings and queens, including Elizabeth I, Mary I, Henry VII, and Mary Queen of Scots.
The cloisters, which is a covered square walkway open to a courtyard, date from the 13th century and were used for meditation and exercise by the Benedictine monks of Westminster. All right, that was beautiful. Just stopped by Westminster Abbey. You got to stop there. 1,000 years of history. Pretty crazy.
Get your tickets online in advance if you can, and you can avoid waiting in line with the crowds.
Yeah, definitely. You can do it on your way down there, just on your phone, but definitely do it before you get there. You can pop right in. Was pretty busy, but got through quick.
We grabbed a quick sandwich and sat in the park to eat that. And now we're going to join the masses making our way to Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, maybe a quick coffee here first.
Yeah, coffee sounds good.
Buckingham Palace is the King's official London residence and is a working palace. It's also the backdrop to the regular changing of the guard ceremony. You can take a general tour of the palace in the summer and book a guided tour during the winter.
So we knew there was going to be a lot of people here, and we're, I think, post changing of the guard, or maybe it's still going on. There's a lot of people here. Wow. There's a band still playing, so we're not going to get anywhere close, but we'll turn around and show you guys just the scene that's here right now.
The changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace takes place every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. To have any sort of view, you'll likely have to wait outside the palace gates for hours before the ceremony. However, there are two other places you can get a closer look at the guard as they make their way to the palace. You can stand outside St. James's Palace as the old guard exits and then follow them as they make their way up the mall towards the palace. Alternatively, you can watch the new guard leave from Wellington Barracks and march toward the palace.
Finally made it back to our hotel. Just kidding.
We made our way back to the Tube and headed to the Tower Hill station to get to the Tower Bridge. Just outside the station stands one of the most substantial and impressive surviving sections of the London Wall, built around 200 AD by the Romans. On the way to the bridge, we got a sneak peek of the Tower of London, which we'd be touring the next day.
You can buy tickets to go inside and to the top of Tower Bridge, but we opted just to walk over it. There's a cozy pub right underneath the bridge on the south side called The Vault. We stopped in for some lunch and a pint. The 10 Bells pub in Whitechapel was on our list and is famous for its connection to Jack the Ripper. 2 of his victims, Andy Chapman and Mary Jane Kelly, were regulars at the 10 Bells and may have met their fate there. Good morning. We woke up a little bit later today.
I heard. Oh, well, nice breakfast. We are setting out on the town here, headed to Hyde Park. And
We're gonna look at Kensington Palace.
yep,
And then later in the afternoon, we are going to go to the Tower of London and check that out.
weather is holding out. A little drizzle this morning, but we've been really lucky so far. It is cool. It's very Seattle.
Yeah. So what was our mileage and steps for yesterday? My feet really hurt.
Yeah, my calves are so sore. Well, we clocked in 22,600 steps and 10 and a half miles. So
Great. I got that to look forward to today.
we walked half a marathon, probably a quarter of a marathon the first day. So we're getting it in.
Okay, so here's where we are. We just turned in and we are gonna come down over here to Kensington Palace. So that should be a fun little walk. Apparently she didn't see the sign. Kensington Palace was the birthplace of Queen Victoria and has been home to young royals for over 300 years. It's the official residence of the Prince and Princess of Wales and their children, among others.
I got the tower. We can cut that. Give yourself a couple of hours to visit the Tower of London. There's a lot to explore, including the White Tower, the Bloody Tower, the Crown Jewels, St. John's Chapel, the Medieval Palace, the battlements, and the Fusilier Museum.
About to go into the tower. Comprising more than 100 objects and over 23,000 gemstones, the crown jewels are priceless. The collection includes St. Edward's crown, which is only used to crown a new king or queen during the coronation ceremony, and the imperial state crown, used by the monarch at state occasions such as the opening of Parliament. It also includes the sovereign's scepter and orb, the sacred objects used during the coronation ceremony.
Well, we just saw the crown jewels. You literally walk through a vault.
Yeah, that's probably the most money or items of value seen consolidated in one spot ever.
Lots of crowns and diamonds and
big and
huge diamonds, but no photography allowed in there, as you would imagine. But I think next we're going to go to the White Tower, which is directly behind us.
Almost 1,000 years old, the iconic White Tower is at the heart of the Tower of London. Inside the White Tower on display are many unique and extraordinary arms and armors, including the royal armors of Henry VIII, Charles I, and James II. On the top floor is an original executioner's block of the 18th century with an axe that possibly dates back to Tudor times. It is now believed that the block and axe were used at the last public beheading on Tower Hill in 1747.
The basement of the White Tower is traditionally thought to be the site of torture and interrogation of prisoners. When the tower's defenses were expanded in the 13th century, a new luxurious palace was also added. For hundreds of years to come, kings and queens would stay in these rooms. When you visit, be sure to walk along the stone battlements on top of the tower wall ramparts. I'm so exhausted. We walked probably 6 miles already today, and we're getting ready to go on a walking tour.
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours. We're not used to doing this much walking, so it's probably going to be an early bedtime tonight, I'm pretty sure.
One of the things we had on our list while in London was a Jack the Ripper tour.
Folks, very good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to the Jack the Ripper tour.
This was about a 2-hour walking tour, and our guide took us through the streets of Whitechapel in London's East End, where the crimes occurred.
Well, that was a fun tour. We are exhausted. We just did another 10-mile day. Everything hurts. Everything hurts. So we picked up some doner kebabs. I don't know if that's how you say it or not, for dinner. And we're going to eat it in our hotel room. And we'll see you in the morning.
A couple honorable mention attractions you might find interesting if you want to get a bird's eye view of the city. You're probably familiar with the London Eye, which is a huge Ferris wheel providing 360-degree views of the skyline during a 30-minute ride. Tickets are about £30 and up. Another alternative with a much lower price point is to visit Sky Garden. It's the city's highest public garden and also offers 360-degree views. It has 2 restaurants, 2 bars, an open-air terrace, and observation decks, all while surrounded by landscaped gardens. Visiting is free, but spaces are limited and you need to book in advance.
It was finally time for us to head out on our road trip throughout the south of England before returning to London for one last day. Coming back, Google Maps took us on a route directly through the south of the city. This was a nail biter, and we do not recommend doing this. Oh my God. And that's why they say don't drive in London. We just went 12 miles over an hour directly through the city. Stress is up here, but now we're down here. We're good to go. Let's go enjoy our last night in London. All right, well, we are back in London. Just got back from an amazing road trip.
Yeah, those videos are going to be coming out next. Make sure you're subscribed. Don't miss those. We headed over to the Cotswolds, Bath, Stonehenge, Dover, and Canterbury. So stay tuned for those videos. But for our last night in London, we're just going to be wandering around an area that we haven't explored yet. Trafalgar Square is right behind us, and we're very close to Covent Garden. I think Chinatown's around here. Soho is sort of close, but we've already kind of hit that area. So I think we're maybe going to stick to the Covent Garden area tonight and just see what kind of fun we can get up to.
Yeah. Well, for now, pub, dinner later. Let's go.
All right. So we have just popped into the Salisbury pub here in Covent Garden, and we're continuing our quest to try lots of local beers and have as much Guinness as possible on this trip because it's just better over here. It just is. We don't know why.
Yeah, it's delicious. Can't get enough. And they have this amazing whiskey room here. This is pretty dang cool. I think this place dates back to 1799, so a lot of history here. Just the intricate details on every wall. Loving it.
We're making our way through Chinatown right now, and I'm sure there is just amazing Chinese cuisine in this area. We're on a mission to find some great Indian food, so that's where we're headed. That's the last thing on our food list, so we got to make it happen tonight.
To end our final night in London, we enjoyed a pint and some sticky toffee pudding at a very lively local pub.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about planning a trip to London, please leave them in the comments. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next few videos where we'll be road tripping across England, visiting the Cotswolds, Bath, Stonehenge, Dover, and Canterbury.